Hi, I'm Marlo from Wild Food UK. I'm not out foraging today. It's the 6th of August and I'm in my garden. Yesterday I was out in my garden harvesting a load of cauliflowers. And I have been, although it might not look like it, I've been weeding this patch as the year has progressed. But there's one plant that I have not been weeding out. As you can see, it's grown into a lovely bush there. I'll tell you more about that plant in just a second, but some of you will probably have watched the first episode of my Foraging for Beginners series, and this is a plant that I didn't mention in that one because it was filmed too early in the year. But for you gardeners, this is a great one to know. Let's have a closer look. What we've got here is Lesser Swinecress. It's in the mustard section of the brassica or cabbage family. So if it was possible, which I doubt it will be, for the camera to pick it up, you'll see where I can find a flower that's open. The flowers on this are so tiny. I'm gonna have to drop in a photo, I think. So tiny that you can barely see them, but because they're in the cabbage family, each flower has 4 petals in a cruciform or cross-like structure. Now, anything in the UK with a cruciform flower and 4 petals is likely to be a brassica. There's a few that aren't, but all brassicas are edible. And the mustard section, as I'm sure you all know, are going to have a little bit of bite to them. And I really do like spicy food, so that's really why I love this plant. So I'll have a nice nibble, and what I get as a flavour first of all is a lovely sweet mustardy flavour with no real heat, but then after about 10 seconds or so that mustardy heat starts to build, and it's getting quite strong in my mouth right now. This is certainly a fiery plant. It's a plant that starts off as a little rosette like this one down here. Don't know if you can see that past my baby leeks. And then it will grow from that rosette into lots of longer stems, as you can see there, with bunches of those cabbage-like cruciform flowers, which are so tiny on this, the camera will not even be able to see them. The leaf structure is quite horned and branched, which means, I suppose, superficially, it can look a little bit like stag's horn plantain. And maybe if you don't know what you're doing, you could mistake this for one of the chamomiles or pineapple weeds. But it's not a plant that I consider to have any really dangerous lookalikes that you can't have a nibble of just to check for that cressy mustardy heat and see if you've got the right plant. There is Greater Swinecress as well, which is just a slightly bigger version of this. But I've picked a few beans, we've got a few raspberries ripe, a couple of strawberries too, and this is going to be a nice addition to our lunchtime salad. It's lovely as well because the stems, like on common chickweed, the stems of this plant are quite nice and succulent as well, and that means you don't have to spend a bit of time fiddling off all of the leaf stems. You can do if you want to. The other day I used this in a really lovely dal. I didn't cook the plant at all in the dal. All I did was chop it up very finely and mix it through at the end, and that worked really, really lovely. So you can cook it, but for me, it's really just one of my favourite salad leaves. Probably in your garden now, so go out and have a look. And if you want to find out more, go to wildfooduk.com.